guys, hello. This is just a video of why you should own a snake. Sorry, I'm not going to come. This is why you should own a snake. I'm going through what they're like, to keep, to watch. I have my little corn here. I will always recommend these as your first snake. As you can see, she's not camera shy. She's going into blue. So she'll be shedding soon. Here she comes. She was quite jumpy when I got her, which is understandable, nervous moving house and stuff. But yeah guys, this is why you should get a snake. They are very intelligent animals. Not as intelligent as like your monitor lizards, your skinks, stuff like that. But they are self-aware. Now if you've been following my channel for a while, you would see that I used to keep a lot of tarantulas. I will turn the camera around in a minute just to show you the common behaviour of a snake. But you may know I had a load of tarantulas. I now only keep snakes and I've got a gecko. I've got one tarantula, but that's my mates that I'm looking after for him. But as you can see guys, this is Lila. I've had her about 2 weeks now. She's roughly about 8 weeks old, so very small at the moment. So now guys, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see her properly, and I'll do a bit of talking. I'm not going to put any music in the background of this video as I don't want it to distract you or anything, but so right guys, let me turn the camera around. See, I've got the light on her now. This is normal behaviour. They are quite active hunters. Sorry, I've got an itch. They are quite active hunters. Can be quite flighty at first when getting them out. But all snakes are different. Some are not handleable like your Amazon tree boas. I think the green tree pythons can be a bit funny as well. Your blood pythons, so they're not very good starter animals. They're for only if you've been into snakes for a while and you are experienced. But I would always recommend a corn snake as a first snake, or a ball python or royal royal python or a ball python if you're in America. We call them royals in the UK. But yeah guys, these corn snakes are very easy to care for. They're not very specialist animals. You don't need climbing frames for them as they are ground dwellers. If you provide a substrate like aspen bedding, they will burrow under it while they're babies, but they tend to sit on the top as adults in their hides. As you can see, the snake, she's not doing it now. I've put the camera on her, but she was flicking her tongue. There we go. Don't know what that little black thing is by her eye, but is it on the other side? I don't know, but yeah, as you can see, they actively flick their tongue. That is because they taste with their tongue. They have very sensitive tongues with quite some high-tech gear. Like the taste buds are like magnified to like 100 times better than a human's. Or something like that, I could be wrong, but they smell with their tongue, so they basically taste you to smell. But yeah guys, that's your corn. Also, I will say they can be quite bitey as babies, so if you do want to get a corn snake and you're worried about getting bit, I mean the babies when they bite, they do not hurt at all. It's just more of how fast they are. But if you want one that's not very bitey, I'll go for a grown on juvenile. Oh, sorry guys, I'm gonna let it focus. There we go. But yeah, so she's starting to go into blue. She's not quite blind yet. The scales over their eyes, they lift and they become very blurry, like a bluey colour. As you can see, she's quite dull in colour. You can't really see on the camera, but she's usually bright red. But they are brilliant snakes. Very friendly. So you can keep a baby in, if you're in America, I'd say a 10-gallon tank, but if you're in the UK, 9-litre really useful boxes or rubs will do them just fine. I've got mine in a very small fawnarium, which she's going to outgrow very soon, so I will be moving her when she grows out of that. There is a myth going around that if you don't provide the snake a big enough enclosure, it will stunt their growth, which is absolute nonsense. The snake will outgrow the enclosure, so you haven't got to worry about that. Sometimes they can be picky with their food. Sometimes they eat the day you get them, or some take up to a week to 10 days to settle in. As you've just seen on my previous video, I fed my bull snake, my albino bull snake, which I got yesterday, and she wasn't very striky. She just preferred me to put it on the ground so she could go over to it, just so she knew that she weren't putting herself in danger or anything. So guys, she's going up my arm. But yeah, these guys are absolutely crazy feeders, as with bull snakes. I wouldn't recommend a bull snake for a beginner, as my girl is very, very tame, but they can be quite bitey. They're not recommended for beginners. So corn snakes, on the other hand, again, baby's bitey, but if with a bit of handling, as you can see, she's not trying to get away or anything. When I first got her, she was absolutely crazy, obviously because she was nervous, but you let them settle in for, I don't know, 4 to 7 days before you start handling, and then they should be good to go. They should eat. If not, don't keep sorry about that, guys, that's a plane. If they're not eating as soon as you get them, please don't try every 2 days or whatever. If they do not eat, try in another 7 days at least, as that means they're not settled. They don't feel safe to eat there, which is understandable. I mean, if you get put in a tank and someone's trying to feed you and you're just scared, so that's understandable why sometimes they don't eat. But yeah, guys, she's going to grow to about 4.5 to 5 feet in length. So they are quite small. I've had some that go about 3 foot. But what most people don't know is snakes grow throughout their whole life, and these guys live for about 20 years. So if you are going to get a snake, you have to be prepared to be committed to them, meaning you have to make sure you can supply their care for that long. Some corn snakes actually reach 25 years old, so you need to make sure it's something you really want before you go out and buy it, because if you get a corn snake or a snake, milk snake, king snake, whatever, and then you realise that a week later that you don't want it, then the animal's got to go through the stress of moving again, and too much stress can kill a snake. So you really have got to make sure it's something that you really want and you are prepared to care for. Another thing as well, I have mentioned it on another video, they do eat rodents, frozen food here in the UK. Some feed live, but I don't really like feeding live to a snake in captivity, as the snake cannot escape from a live animal if it's scratching at the scales, ripping holes in it and cutting it. So it's got nowhere to get away. It's just in a tank, so it can't get away. So I use frozen mice. Obviously you thaw them out, and then they will have them dead. You dangle it in front of their face, give it a wobble, and usually they strike right at it. This girl is a drop feeder, which means I will put her in a feeding tub and then I will leave the pinkies in with her. She's on 2 pinkies every 4 days, as all my babies are. But yeah, that's another thing you got to be prepared for, guys, is to have a freezer full of dead mice. They're not dirty or nothing, they are clean as long as you go to a professional shop that actually supplies them. So that is something you want to think about. Is there any local reptile shops that are trustworthy, have high ratings on reviews, that will supply you? I have actually been to a different pet shop to buy a load of pinkies. I bought 30 pinkies for £9. I'm not sure what that is in dollars, but I mean the quality of them was absolutely shocking, so I won't be buying from them again. I have my designated shop where I get all my snake food from, and they are quite high quality. I still have the not very good quality pinkies. I mean, they're smaller than your usual pinky, they're all shriveled up, whatever. But I mean, they won't cause harm to the snake, but you might want to offer an extra one, so you'll be feeding 3, and then that just uses up more. I buy my pinkies in bulk. I get about 50 for £13. I mean, they just won't last as long. I mean, I have about 6 baby snakes, and I mean they're having 2 pinkies every 4 days each. So it is something you want to think about. You do want to get the high quality pinkies that have been killed correctly and looked after. I actually watched a video yesterday of a man killing a live rat by putting it in a paper bag and whacking it off the floor, which is a quick way to kill them, but here in the UK they're killed with what's known as CO2. You obviously know what that is, and that basically gases them, so it's not harmful for the snake. She's trying to get away. It's not harmful for the snake. You don't really want a smashed up rat, mouse, pinky, whatever. If you do get a bigger snake, I wouldn't recommend it as your first snake. If you do get a bigger snake, you're going to have to buy rabbits to feed them with when they're adults. So if you see a cute little baby snake in a shop, always ask the staff if you're not sure, as they will tell you how big they grow, and they will need a massive enclosure. Some grow to 19 foot, which is absolutely huge. So it is something to think about, guys. So before you buy your snake, please do your research. Make sure you've listened to everything I've said in this video and take it on board before you even think of going out and buying one. Do not just impulse buy. Make sure you know as much as you can. Ask questions in the pet shop, breeder, wherever you go to get your snake, and they will advise you. So right guys, I will call that a day for this video, and please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you very much.